How would you describe what being a police officer is like, and what type of person chooses that career?
I think they have to be a giving person for sure. I think there's a certain amount of courage involved. Realistically, cops really do care a lot about people.
I grew up in an area that was crime-ridden, an impoverished neighborhood where police were always present. And what I always remembered is that when they would show up, I felt a sense of safety for that moment that they were there. And, so I thought, gosh, from an early age, that's what I want to do.
Started when I was about 3 or 4 years old. My dad was an Indiana State Trooper. While I was in the Navy in Vietnam, I thought about doing some other things and came back and saw all the discord and the riots and everything going on, and came to the conclusion that the average person probably has more access to a police officer than anybody else in their government. And if you can get that trust, it'll make a difference in our country.
I entered in the academy in early '94, and I was proud to serve at the Tulsa Police Department for 23 plus years until I decided to run for sheriff.
No city can grow or thrive if the citizens don't feel safe. To make this the kind of place where people feel safe to raise a family, where they feel safe to grow a business, we as a city government have to be providing police and fire and medical emergency services that are the best in the whole country.
It's hard to imagine public safety not being important as a father when you've got 2 little girls, just because you wake up every day and your goal is to provide the best life possible for those children. And so as a city, when you can say that you are working hard to protect your citizens, as a father, that makes you feel safe that your children, you'd want them to grow up and live here when they're older.
We have embraced alternative approaches when it comes to public safety, whether that's the Sobering Center that we've implemented or the Better Way program. We definitely think there are always better ways that we can be doing things, but at the most fundamental level, you have to have a properly staffed police department to keep people safe.
When I was on the council, I spent most of the time on the council trying to get a better relationship with the Tulsa Police Department and the Afro-American community because we need each other.
Just seeing more attention given to lower income areas. I think it's really fantastic that the ball's really moving with, more resources out there.
Chief Franklin talks a lot about how we want to have collaborative policing here in Tulsa. The idea being that citizens and police officers are working together to make our community safer. We've focused on a rapid increase in staffing in our police department to get it where every officer has 35 to 40% of their shift where they can be out of their car, getting to know the people on their beat.
Stepping outside of yourself and seeing what you can do for someone else or for your community that you live in goes a long way in terms of creating bonds, seeing the similarities and not the differences.
Building a relation between the community and the police department, the city. As long as there is communication, there is always a way to solve the problems.
I have been really happy to see, especially with the new chief, what he has been doing to really be a part of the communities that they're policing, getting to know the people, building that trust. They're here to bring safety and make sure people feel secure in being a citizen of Tulsa.
If we all do something for the greater of the good, that's something that's much bigger than ourselves, we all stand to be better people from it.
It's exciting to live here. It really is.
Bringing in people from all different backgrounds that think differently, that grew up differently.
I feel like they've done so much in the last 3.5 years.
One good term deserves another.
We're not done making this a city where every kid has an equal shot at a great life. And we're not done building the city that this generation of Tulsans wants to leave to the next.